Welcome to the Spotlight Series. I'm your host, Scott and Ernie. It's Tuesday night. We're at the Queeset Inn. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video, no matter what platform you're looking at it. We have some very important information about you, your loved ones, family members, and friends that tuck this in your back pocket. Someday, unfortunately, you may need to use it, but there's fantastic people here to help you with stuff like this, such as Denise from Just A.S.K. Welcome to the Spotlight Series.
Thank you for inviting me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Denise Lowell. I am a wife, mother, and a grandmother. And
Congratulations.
thank you. At the age of 48, I had a massive stroke. It was an ischemic and a hemorrhagic. Due to that injury, my brain on the left side has been severely damaged. And I've been able to move my right side, and I've been able to be more mobile. But the most challenging is that I have aphasia. Aphasia is a communication disorder that affects people with speaking, reading, writing, and comprehension. You can have one, couple, or all of them. My speech has improved dramatically. Most people don't even know I have aphasia, but my reading and writing is extremely challenged. Prior to the stroke, I was a mental health counselor. I work with children with various types of disabilities and with mental health challenges. And trying to return to work was just almost impossible because I can't read and write. You can't work with your clients if you would not. I could possibly make some error choices because of my
Sure.
words, but I also wouldn't be able to write their notes, which was necessary. So going on, I went for an intensive treatment program in Florida called the Aphasia Center. The reason I had to do that is because I couldn't find that type of services in our state of Rhode Island. So we did some intensive treatment. I came back home and I continue my speech because they do make the referral when you leave the hospital that you really should go to a PT, an OT, a speech pathologist, and a neurologist. But they don't tell you how important it is to see a speech pathologist if you've been diagnosed with aphasia. Speech does not necessarily just work on your speech and your verbalization. It helps you with the comprehension, reading, and writing. So as I continue over the years, I've improved on my speaking, as you can understand, but I continue to work and improve every day. It's a work in progress, as I say.
So you created Just Ask. Tell us, it's a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit. What happened when I came home and I said, we need to have more resources here in Rhode Island. We need to educate people in our own community about aphasia. So I was challenged to do a conference here in Rhode Island then. If they're everywhere, why don't we do one? So I did, started the nonprofit form, and I started the first conference we had at the Warwick Library. And I said, if I can get 40 people to attend and learn about aphasia, my job's been done. I was surprised and amazed that almost 100 people were in attendance. And I said, oh, I guess people really want to learn more about aphasia. It's more common than people are talking about. So we are now into our 6th annual conference. We do it now virtually in June because June is Aphasia Awareness Month. So we do it every Saturday in Zoom format. And one of the biggest and the things I'm proud of the most is nobody ever has to pay to go to a conference to learn education about their own disability or their loved ones, and to educate people in Rhode Island, whether it's our speech pathologists, our college students, our loved ones, or just the community of know how to interact more appropriately with somebody with aphasia. Because our speech and language challenges, our intelligence is always intact. We do not have a challenge. Our brain is still there. We still understand. We still know what we need to do. It may be done a little bit different. 3 of the 2 types of aphasia would be Broca, Wernicke, and aphasia. My type of aphasia is called anomic aphasia, and this is the most mild version of aphasia. Most people have more verbal challenges, use communication tools to talk to people. Some people, the comprehension needs to kind of be addressed. So when you're with somebody with aphasia, talk slowly. Don't belittle them or childlike. Just go slow. Give them a chance to respond. They may take a few more minutes to respond. And I know that's a little awkward to wait for that conversation, that little quiet in spot. But that's okay. Wait for the spot. Give them an opportunity to communicate and learn more, because the isolation of having aphasia and staying home by yourself and losing your family, your friends, your job, and most of us lost our income. We've lost everything.
Sure.
So it's really want to be part of the community, want to find a new purpose. So that's what I did. I started a new purpose of being an advocate and an educator for people with aphasia.
So let's talk a little bit about, your husband's here to support you off camera, and talk to us about, from his perspective, what dealing with someone, it's love, it's support, it's prayers, it's everything you can do. Obviously, as you mentioned, the income is a challenge and disability, but what do you find his biggest strengths are to help you?
The biggest strength is just acknowledging that it's still me, um, and to be patient with me, and to continue to adjust the change of our life. Our roles would change drastically. I handled most of the financial, I did this part of the house. His life was turned upside down, if not even more than mine, because he had to manage the household on his own. He had to follow all the medical plans. He needed to make sure that all the needs that I needed were followed up. Was I getting all the appointments I needed? He couldn't take out of work all the time. Can he find somebody to help me with transportation? Somebody come and stay and help me with meals? So it was a full-time job to be my care partner. And that's, we like to call them care partners, not caregiver, because
I love that.
we're a partner in crime right now. It takes both of us to make it work. I think the care partners don't get as much information and support that they need. We all know about our aphasia, the beginning of our aphasia. I would like to say we are a little bit selfish, because we're talking about our basic needs, like Maslow's hierarchy. We're going to get our basic needs before we can move on. So I'm not thinking about his problems, his challenges. I just needed what I needed now. And I think the care partners need to get their support. They need to be educated. And if our care partners aren't educated and learned how to work with us with aphasia, we're not going anywhere. They're the gatekeepers. They're the ones that provide the resource, the tools, and encouragement, and letting us still be people and with respect and dignity.
And it's very similar to stroke, as you counsel people through your organization that way as well, that it really is two phases of the person's physical limitations and the mental impact,
Yep.
and also the care partner's ability to try to cope and help that person to more of a healthy comeback.
Yeah. So it's very important to have, and the family members too. The care partner can't do it alone. They really need to have the family, the friends, and their maybe their employers understand a little more about maybe taking some FMLA, why that's needed. So it's a whole family where they say it takes what they call
Takes a village.
takes a village. It takes a village and more.
So I know aphasia, most Americans, it was never top of mind. It was never in the news. And then suddenly Bruce Willis is announced, because I think the diagnosis was some time ago, but his family is a rather private family. Once that got announced, it kind of went mainstream a bit. And I think has a lot of folks supporting, and obviously all the fans. It's difficult to see him go downhill fast from what little bit you see. And then just recently there was a special on Wendy Williams, similar. And I think similar to, as we talked in the green room about Michael J. Fox and Parkinson's, a lot of famous people can draw attention to diseases,
Mhm.
but without the individual people on the ground like yourself, the reach from the famous and the Hollywood to the
Mhm.
local, it's a big
It
stretch.
makes a difference. But what are the two distinguished things I wanted to express about people that have aphasia and the type of aphasia Bruce Willis and Wendy has? It's called primary progressive aphasia. The difference between those two is when I had my stroke, it was a quick onset. It happened. I had a stroke. We knew it was happening. We addressed it, and we always improve due to plasticity of our brain. We continue to improve. There's no quick med for it. There's anything. It's just a lot of speech pathology. It's a lot of ongoing working, and it's like finding a new map on your brain to reroute all of that information to go back so that you can continue to do what you're doing. The difference with primary progressive aphasia, it's kind of like it says, primarily progressive. It gradually occurs. You don't know it right away. It may just seem a little odd that somebody's forgetting lines in this. Their stories, people forgetting, oh, what was that? People getting a little odd, and it progressively gets worse. They don't improve. That's the really sad part of primary, and that's a very limited amount of that type of diagnosis happens. It's very limited. But with them telling their story about primary aggressive aphasia, it opened up people's minds of what different types of aphasia, like my aphasia, would improve, and we do get better. There's just no quick fix for it. So,
It's
like
work.
yeah, and we do have other famous people like Senator Fetterman. He has aphasia. He uses different types of communications when he goes to events, and he has aphasia due to a stroke. We also had Dick Clark. He had aphasia. We have, what do we have? I got a few names here for you. Can you read these names for me? Would that be
Sure.
easier? These are the names of the people with regular aphasia, and down the bottom I have two of them with primary progressive aphasia. And a lot of these names are very famous. They just say they had a stroke or they had a brain injury. So, but they don't say what they've been diagnosed with.
So the list you've given me is a lot of famous people, as you mentioned, Dick Clark, Mark McEwen, Amelia Clark, Audrey Plaza, Gabby Giffords, as you mentioned, Senator Fetterman, General Michael Hayden,
Yes,
and those are some big hitters out there.
yes. And what I think you'll notice about that, it's all the different ages. A stroke in people are not just your grandparents' issue anymore. It happens from a lot of these younger people with
Yeah,
20 years old having a stroke and living with aphasia.
yeah.
And they keep improving. Same with Sharon Stone. She talked about her stroke and how it was very isolating. She wrote a book about it and explains about how she lost her family, children. It was a really depressing time, but she has improved. Will she ever be 100%? Will I ever be 100%? No. But we've made so many accommodations with technology, and for other type of improvement, we can live a fulfilling and important life.
So tell us a little bit about some of the events you have planned.
Well, with Just Ask, and as I said, we do our conference every year, which will be coming up in June. Um, we are a full nonprofit organization. Nobody gets paid. I don't get paid. All of my amazing board members do not get paid. But we do our funding based on this one event called Funny for Funds. We've been working with them for since my stroke. They did the initial fundraiser for me to get the intensive treatment. And they've worked with us over the years now so that we can get our funding to keep our programs up and running. Our programs include on Monday night Zoom meetings so people can meet and communicate with others with aphasia and under the supervision of a speech pathologist. We also go out and do community events. We will be going to Brain Fair in March. We also go to colleges and I do presentations. I've been at all the local hospitals talking to their staff and their individuals that have aphasia. I've presented at OSHA, which is the Aphasia conference that's done yearly throughout the United States. I've gone and presented at that. So going out and presenting at all of these locations is really a way to network and provide the resources. One of our famous or fun events we've done, we rented the area showcase, and we had the movie from Gabby Gifford's movie, and we invited just our family, friends, and people with aphasia to have a private viewing, and had a great night. So those are some of the fun things we get to do, and to help have educating people but having a fun time.
Yeah. So you mentioned Funny for Funds. Give our listeners and viewers a little information about when that is and how they can get tickets.
Well, this is a great event, and I'm inviting all to come and attend. It's on April 19th at Club's Jokes in Coventry at 6 p.m. The tickets are available on the website, and if you can't attend and you'd love to donate, we greatly appreciate it. And for other organizations that want to sponsor, we have a link on our website. You can check in and go and join us. Again, this is a nonprofit organization, and this is our only funding source we have in Rhode Island to continue the services we do here for Just Ask. So come see me at Funny for Funds on April 19th at 6 p.m.
All right. So remind people how they can get more information and get in contact with the organization.
The best way to reach us is through our website, Just Ask, www.justaskri.com.
Okay.
We have a telephone number if anybody needs any additional resources. We provide additional resources if somebody doesn't know where they can get services, what else is available in Rhode Island. If I cannot find it, I will refer you to somebody that could. So we keep making sure there is services available.
Well, we're very fortunate that I don't want to say we've covered, but partially brought yourself to a point where you can offer so much more from your experience, your family's experience, and help hundreds and hundreds of local and thousands of Rhode Island families and support staff and medical personnel to explain what the situation is, how we can make it the best we can, and survive.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.